Alright, we are back with some more boxing. What is up, guys? It's Krod here. I'm back with another good video for today. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about Ryan Garcia. I'm gonna basically talk about why is Ryan Garcia so special or so important for Gervonta Davis. See, now, I don't understand why Ryan Garcia likes to talk a lot, but Ryan Garcia is not a high level profile name. Even though, for all you decaps that want to get angry at me to say, oh, you're just hating Ryan Garcia, he is not the type of guy you think he shouldn't be. He's way better than you. He's way better than you can think of him, and you're just a hater. Well, let me ask you something. Who has Ryan Garcia fought lately? Ryan Garcia has never fought any marquee opponents. Marquee S level or A plus level fighters. Ryan Garcia has never been tested to the point where he has been put to a position where he cannot be fighting his normal boxing style, which he mainly fights on the outside, and he fights like a giraffe in a way. Like, I'm sorry to be disrespectful, but it's like Ryan Garcia is just not in that caliber of being the type of fighter and actually giving a good fight where he has to utilize his height as his offense, and he needs to use his defense for his height to make himself more, I guess, like, more crafty and more slick to get away from bigger, dangerous punchers. See, now Gervonta Davis has been calling out Ryan Garcia to say that he'll be fighting Ryan Garcia next after he KOs Leo Santa Cruz, which I don't know if that is going to happen. So please do not take my word, but I don't believe Ryan Garcia would be a very good opponent for Tank Davis, because we all know what Tank Davis is going to do. And Tank Davis has that type of style that makes Ryan Garcia a little bit crazed out with. But I think Ryan Garcia would appreciate what Tank would do to him, because it seems like Ryan, he has tricks up his book. He knows what he would do to a guy like Tank. But can we really expect that out of Ryan? Or are we just trying to say that Ryan Garcia is going to get destroyed by Tank if he doesn't think in this fight? But it seems like with what Ryan Garcia is doing by training with Canelo Alvarez, Frank Sanchez, all these big names where Eddie Reynoso has his connections, I don't really see Ryan Garcia being that type of fluke. And I mean, he has stated on DAZN that, or he stated in a DAZN interview recently to say that he works hard in the gym. And look, I respect him, but Ryan Garcia is not that type of guy to, I guess, like, basically say that he be working hard and he be making himself looking like he's like the next Rocky. And if he could prove me wrong by proving to me that he could beat a guy like Luke Campbell, then okay, I can definitely give you the respect. But from what I've seen out of you and from what I know what you're capable of, you haven't fought within a year. And even though Luke Campbell, he hasn't fought at all, but let me tell you something. Luke Campbell, he has championship level experience. He's actually fought some big names where you would say, okay, this guy has fought in championship level fights. Even though he isn't like the biggest name in the world, but he's proven himself as a fighter to fight at a level where he's gotten better from them. And I think, in fights like the Jorge Linares fight, or even the Lomachenko fight, he got both of those guys hurt. You know, believe it or not, he got, Linares hurt, he got Lomachenko hurt, he got all these guys hurt. But the problem is that Luke Campbell, he doesn't finish. He doesn't close the show. And the issue is that, if he were to close, the show and not feel so, I guess, psychologically pressured from trying to do it, because, when he gets very tired, this is where his weakness comes in. He doesn't feel confident enough with closing the show when he's about to be all gassed out, and then he has to, take it easy with his punches because he doesn't want to get hard countered. And that's really where Ryan Garcia could be the equalizer out of this match, which is very interesting, but I don't think Luke Campbell's going to make that happen because he knows what Ryan Garcia will do. He knows what Ryan Garcia has, the capability of executing his ability and executing his punches. So Luke Campbell needs to establish a very, very good form of defense to get Ryan Garcia to a uncomfortable level of fighting, and to put Ryan Garcia at a disadvantage where he cannot use any of his tools. And then Luke Campbell just breaks him down, and then boom, KO. Honestly, I would actually predict Luke Campbell knocking out Ryan Garcia, because the reason why I say that is because Ryan Garcia, he's never been in a fight where he's hurt. And if we've ever seen Ryan Garcia ever hurt, the only person that I would say that gives Ryan Garcia issues would be Rolando Romero. The reason why I say that is because Rolly, we've seen him hurt people. Ryan Garcia has never been hurt by anyone by that type of style. A pit bull dog style where it just gets Ryan Garcia uncomfortable, and he has to tie up. He cannot, fight on the inside or fight on the outside. He's too hurt, he's too broken down, and his tenacity is not there, where he's just going to break down, psychologically and physically, where his game plan is just basically all messed up. So Ryan Garcia does not have those tools and mechanisms to establish himself to be safe in the fight. So I think for Ryan Garcia, if he's going to talk all the smack about beating Tank, and he's been wanted Tank and he wanted to fight him ever since he became champion, let me ask you something, Ryan. Who have you fought to Tank's level? And I'm I'm trying to be nice here because I actually like Ryan for the sense of his, his hard work, talent, perseverance as a fighter. But it's like, dude, your personality is getting shittier by the day, bro. And I'm saying that because you're so sucked up into the social media garbage when you should always be training. You should be focusing more on, on a lot of stuff. Like Ryan Garcia, he obviously puts in the work at the gym, but I think it's his mental lapse that will affect him. And I mean, if you've seen other fighters that do this, i.e. Amir Khan, I think that's what's going to happen to Ryan. He's going to have that moment within one of his big fights where the mental lapses get to him, and then eventually he's not going to be able to handle it, and then he's going to break down mentally, to possibly get KO'd. And I think Ryan is going to make a huge mistake doing that, because Ryan knows that he cannot do that type of, he cannot do that type of stuff in high-level profile fights if he's trying to go for multiple world title belts. Once you have the strongest mentality in championship level fights, then you're going to easily become champion. Even though that's not going to be easy, but when you control what the mentality and those fights, then it feels just as easy as as a sparring match or exhibition. But it's like a lot of boxers don't do that because they focus so much on on the title rather than I need to focus on my fundamentals. I need to focus on the performance of what I'm gonna do in this fight, and then focus more on establishing some form of game plan adjustments to sustain in the fight. But that's why boxing is 90% mental, 20% physical. And I say this because, a lot of boxers say that they have a game plan, i.e., Mike Tyson said this quote, a lot of fighters have a game plan until they get hit in the face. And that's true. A lot of boxers have that mindset to know what they want to do, but then once they get hit in the face, then it's game over. So I think with Ryan Garcia, he's a little bit too outspoken, and he doesn't put himself in that position to understand what he's gonna do in the ring, but he more so thinks past about what he should be doing in the ring and what can he do to fix it. And I think if he's gonna be ready for a guy like Devin Haney, which obviously this is a WBC title eliminator, so let's be clear here. If he beats Luke Campbell, or if Luke Campbell beats Ryan, that's gonna make them next in line to fight Devin Haney. And I think Devin Haney would love to fight Ryan Garcia for his title, because Ryan said that he wants Devin Haney last on the list, and that's very disrespectful to say that because Devin Haney is the champion. Ryan Garcia has never won a world title, and yet Ryan Garcia says he wants Devin Haney last. But what are you doing now? You're fighting Luke Campbell. You're fighting a high level contender that has the capability of becoming one or becoming a champion, and yet you're gonna be next in line to fight Devin Haney. So either way, Ryan Garcia is making a very huge mistake by thinking he is going to have a good easy out fight. Which, I mean, no, he's not. He's not saying that, but his mentality is like, oh, Luke Campbell is nothing. He's never gonna be in there with a guy like me, and I'm gonna give him issues. Blah blah blah. But it's like, Ryan, has there ever been a fight where you've been in such a huge war of trading punches and someone giving you, like the biggest fight of your life? And I say that answer would be no, because you've never been in that type of magnitude of a fight. And I think that's what makes Ryan such a very questionable fighter, because he's never been in that type of high profile level driven fight. And I think Ryan needs to understand that before he gets himself in a position where he gets steamrolled by a fighter that's similar to Tank, or I would say a guy like Devin Haney, where he's slick and he will use his advantages over you. That will screw Ryan Garcia. And just wait. But I don't think Ryan has ever seen that type of style yet, because that style can come from any fighter. So I think if he wants to be taken seriously at 135, man, he really needs to start, thinking about, his magnitude of competition, because that's really where Ryan Garcia will be, tested at the highest, levels, where he will have to put on a show if he wants to make a statement for his, division. And I mean, even though that Devin Haney plans to move up at 140, who's to say that Ryan Garcia will ever follow him? And I think that's what he wants to do, but he's never won a world title yet, so it'd be nice for him to probably win a world title or even try to unify them all and then, yeah, then move up. But either way, that's all that I have for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about Ryan Garcia. Do you think he needs to be taken seriously in boxing, or do you think Ryan Garcia is just capping and he's not really the type of fighter that everyone should be listening to? So, all right, I will see you guys later. Thank you for everything, and goodbye.